Did Machiavelli fear morality? 5 dark secrets to master the double morality game. Most people think Niccolò Machiavelli was the prophet of ruthless deception. The man who handed rulers a mask, a dagger, and whispered, "Pretend to be good," while you secretly do evil. But what if that's the greatest misunderstanding in political philosophy? What if Machiavelli didn't reject morality, but actually feared its misuse? What if his real lesson wasn't about destroying your moral compass, but about protecting it at all costs? This is the beginning of what people call Machiavelli's double morality game. One morality for appearances, another for survival. But that's not the full story. That's the shallow reading. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 dark secrets Machiavelli left for us. Secrets that reveal how to master the double morality game. Secrets that show you how to appear strong, admired and untouchable on the outside, while inside, you guard the only thing that really matters: your unshakable moral compass. Stay until the end, because once you learn these 5 secrets, you'll never see morality or weakness the same way again. Machiavelli's first dark secret is simple and terrifyingly effective. Always appear moral. He wrote, "A prince must be very careful never to let anything slip from his lips that is not replete with compassion, faith, honesty, and religion." To see and hear him, Machiavelli insisted a leader should look like the embodiment of mercy, faith, and honesty. But here's the twist. He never said you actually had to be these things, only that you must appear to be them. Because the masses don't see the truth. They see the mask, and the mask is often more powerful than reality. Everyone sees what you appear to be, he warned. Few experience what you really are, and those few, they're too afraid to expose you when the crowd believes in your image. Why does this matter? Because reputation is armor. A spotless public image makes it nearly impossible for enemies to attack you. If people believe you are compassionate and just, then when you act harshly, they'll assume it must have been necessary. Your mask shields you from suspicion. This is not hypocrisy for its own sake. It's strategy. It's survival. It's the difference between a leader who commands respect and one who's torn apart by rumor and contempt. Now, think about modern life. The CEO who seems ethical, responsible, even generous. Behind closed doors, he makes cutthroat decisions to keep the company alive. Was that simply hypocrisy? Never. It was strategic. Organized takeover, bold control, Machiavelli's wisdom at its best. What about the politician who preaches honesty and faith while secretly maneuvering alliances in the shadows? Their public virtue keeps the wolves at bay, even when necessity forces them to act with the claws of a lion. Was that hypocrisy? Or have they harnessed Machiavelli's deeper meaning as they step more boldly into their power? My friends, here's Machiavelli's brutal insight. Your public morality is not about truth. It's about protection. The world judges what it sees, not what is real. The public thinks it's all about protecting their power, trying to control. But what if Machiavelli was teaching us that they are protecting a deeper moral and ethical code that was so precious it had to be cloaked in brutality? So wear the mask of virtue, guard it carefully, because once your reputation cracks, no one will protect you. But what about the self you hide behind the mask? That's where the second secret begins. Here's Machiavelli's second dark secret. Protect your real morality by keeping it hidden. He warned, everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. That line isn't just about fooling others, it's a warning. If you reveal your deepest values too openly, the world will weaponize them against you. Show too much mercy, and predators exploit it. Show too much honesty, and liars twist it. Show too much faith, and cynics drag it through the mud. Machiavelli saw it clearly. A man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must necessarily come to grief among so many who are not good. In other words, if you loudly broadcast your inner morality, you make yourself a target in a world full of wolves. Think of rulers throughout history who were undone not by cruelty, but by their naive openness. They believed their pure intentions would protect them. Instead, their enemies used those very intentions to destroy them. So what does Machiavelli tell us? Live by your values privately. Practice them where it matters most. In silence, in the dark, where no one can attack them. And never, ever flaunt them in public like a flag. Why? Because this is the most dangerous risk you can take. Those people will turn on you, sharpen their teeth and their axes, provoke a fire that burns you alive, whisper things in the shadows that become your downfall. This is not about cowardice, it's about preservation. Your moral compass is the most sacred thing you have. It's what anchors you when everything else turns to chaos. Why hand it over to the mob for judgment? Because the mob does not seek truth, it seeks spectacle. The moment you make your virtue public property, it stops being virtue and starts being performance. So guard your compass like a secret flame. Let it guide you in silence. The strongest principles are the ones that no one can drag into the square and tear apart. Modern life proves Machiavelli right again. Think about the colleague who overshares their personal code at work, only to be mocked, undermined, excluded. They learn too late that transparency is not always rewarded, that purity in the wrong room is blood in the water. Or the leader who proclaims absolute principles, then crumbles when circumstances force compromise. Their values weren't wrong, their mistake was thinking the world would honor them. Because the world doesn't. It tests them. It measures what your virtue costs you and whether you're willing to pay. The game was never about purity. It was about endurance. Machiavelli's advice is darker and truer. Keep your real values guarded. Live them privately. Protect them from naysayers. That hidden morality is your true north. But only you need to know it. But what happens when your values collide with promises you've made to others? That's where Machiavelli's third secret cuts deepest. Machiavelli's third dark secret is perhaps the most unsettling. Promises are not sacred. They are conditional. He writes, a prudent ruler cannot and should not keep his word when such observance would be to his disadvantage and when the reasons that made him promise are removed. Translated, if keeping your promise would destroy you, don't keep it. If the ground has shifted, if the deal no longer serves its purpose, then you are no longer bound. Why? Because Machiavelli saw human nature for what it is: unreliable, self-serving, treacherous. He said if men were entirely good, this precept would not hold. But since they are bad and will not keep faith with you, you too are not bound to observe it with them. This is not permission to become a liar. It's a command to be flexible. A rigid man is a broken man. A ruler who keeps his word at all costs soon discovers that others will not return the favor. He pays the price for his blind loyalty. Think of alliances in history. Kings and generals who clung to their treaties long after their allies had betrayed them were destroyed. Meanwhile, those who adapted, who broke faith when necessity demanded it, survived. Machiavelli's wisdom is cold, but clear. Your highest loyalty is not to the literal promise. It is to your deeper purpose, to your people, to your survival. If a vow threatens those, break it, but do it carefully, quietly, behind the mask of virtue. Because, remember, the world forgives those who succeed. As Machiavelli himself said, let a prince have the credit of conquering and securing his state. The means will always be judged honorable. But what if keeping faith with your purpose requires you to commit acts that feel evil? That is where Machiavelli's fourth secret drags us into the shadows. Here is Machiavelli's most dangerous teaching, his fourth secret. You must learn how not to be good. He writes, a prince must learn how not to be good, and to use this knowledge or not use it according to necessity. Not always, not recklessly, but when the situation demands it. Why? Because a man who insists on being perfectly virtuous in a world full of predators will not survive. Machiavelli warns, a man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must necessarily come to grief among so many who are not good. In other words, the saint gets slaughtered. The angel gets devoured. The man who refuses to bend breaks. But Machiavelli wasn't celebrating cruelty. He wasn't calling for sadism. He was teaching a darker kind of mercy. Sometimes one act of calculated cruelty prevents 100 acts of chaos. He gives the example. A ruler who punishes swiftly, even violently, may save an entire city from anarchy. With a few exemplary executions, Machiavelli wrote, he will be more merciful than those who, through too much mercy, allow disorders to arise. In other words, too much goodness leads to more suffering. A small evil, chosen wisely, may protect the greater good. The real mistake, he says, is overusing it. A prince who is needlessly violent, needlessly deceptive, will be hated, and hatred is fatal. Fear may keep you safe, but hatred will destroy you. For a CEO, it might mean cutting off a loyal lieutenant who's become a threat to the vision, smiling as you do it, because the company must survive. For a politician, it might mean shaking hands with a very rival who once tried to ruin them because the country needs stability more than vengeance. These moments are not acts of cruelty. They are the quiet surgeries of power, the steel beneath mercy, the darkness a ruler must sometimes walk through to protect the light. So learn this balance. Be willing to do what looks evil when necessity leaves no other option. But do it rarely, do it surgically, and always in the service of your deeper compass. But to wield this power fully, Machiavelli says you must become something even more dangerous. A creature of two natures. Half cunning fox, half roaring lion. And that is the fifth and final secret. Machiavelli's fifth and final secret is the most haunting of all. To survive, you must become two creatures at once. A prince must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves, he wrote. Those who rely simply on the lion do not understand matters. What does that mean? It means raw strength is not enough. If you charge ahead like a lion, you fall into snares you never saw coming. But cunning alone is not enough either. A fox without teeth will eventually be devoured by wolves. You need both. The slyness to see through deception, and the strength to make others fear trying it on with you. This is the essence of the double morality game. Two selves, one clever, one strong. Two masks, one hidden, one visible. The fox works in silence, weaving strategy in the shadows. The lion works in the open, showing strength when it must be seen. Together they form a leader no enemy dares to underestimate. Think of great rulers, great generals, even great CEOs. The ones who survived weren't just bold, they were cunning. The ones who thrived weren't just clever, they had the force to make their cunning stick. The fox finds the path, the lion clears it. In your own life, this duality matters. In negotiation, be the fox, read intentions, detect traps, play the long game. But when the moment comes, be the lion. Assert, decide, strike so no one doubts your resolve. In relationships, be the fox, guard your heart, see the hidden motives. But when protection is needed, be the lion, fierce, unflinching, a shield for yourself and others. Machiavelli's warning is clear. If you choose only one, you are doomed. If you only roar, you'll be tricked. If you only plot, you'll be crushed. But if you learn to shift between both, you become untouchable. The fox and the lion. Two faces, one ruler. That is the final key to mastering the double morality game. So, did Machiavelli fear morality? Yes, but not in the way most people think. He didn't fear morality because it was weak. He feared morality because the world twists it, mocks it, and uses it to destroy the very people who live by it. He feared morality because of the power it held. Because virtue, once exposed, becomes a weapon in someone else's hands. The moment you declare your goodness, the world begins testing it. It tempts you, provokes you, drags you into contradictions until your purity becomes proof of your naivety. And when you fall, as everyone does, it doesn't forgive you. It feeds on your fall. Machiavelli saw that danger long before the age of cancellations and public trials. That's why he gave us these 5 secrets. This is the double morality game. Not deception for domination, not hypocrisy for its own sake, but a way to protect what truly matters. Your hidden, unshakable moral compass. Because morality isn't what you preach in public, it's what you refuse to betray in silence. It's what you cling to when no one is watching. It's the anchor you guard, even as you play the games the world demands of you. Machiavelli wasn't asking us to become soulless manipulators, and in the end, he leaves us with the truth most men never dare face. The world doesn't reward what you are, it rewards what you appear to be. But if you master the mask, if you guard your compass, you'll discover the paradox Machiavelli wanted us to see all along, that by appearing ruthless, you can protect your deepest morality. If this hit you, don't let it vanish into the scroll. Hit like so the algorithm knows men like you still exist. Subscribe for more forbidden strategy. And remember, everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are.